What is going on YouTube? So, um, I got a lot of stuff going on when it comes to work, conventions, and not just even QuestCon, because it's like I'm going to DragonCon, which is literally the weekend before. And if you don't know anything about DragonCon, it's just a generic nerd convention. It's not really miniatures or gaming. It's all fandoms. And it's amazing. It's huge blast. If you can go, I highly suggest it. It's just getting a hotel is fucking murder. But yeah, between Quest, printing, work, and Dragon Con, I've been super slammed. So to a couple of people that I've talked to, I've kind of started a new project, and I've always wanted this army. And when I first looked into it, I was kind of intimidated and decided, you know what? No, I'll wait. But yeah, I decided to dive into Infernals. And this is kind of like a checkpoint. Now, I've done a lot. I've been painting for about a month so far, so a good chunk of this is actually done. But we're about, I want to say, maybe one third there, like one third done. Let's pop over to the to the webcam. Okay, so here we are. Let's start with now. If you can't tell just from this, I definitely have a type. uh, Dommy and mommies who will kill you if you look at them wrong. So let's start with that, with Zelatoth, who is probably the primary reason why I wanted to start this army. Now, um, they're very gender neutral. Like they can go either way in terms of man or woman. They're very slender female. They have the corset. They don't really have Booba, although they kind of do, but that could just be the shaping of the armor. But this is the one that I painted. Um, this is my color scheme. So that smoke effect, you're gonna see this a lot. This whole miniature is primed white, and then from there, what we do is we hit it with Blood Angels red, and then after that, we use Basilicum Gray contrast over it to get that smoke effect. We want the gray to be kind of splotchy because we want the red to shine through. And that's what we're doing there. A little squid guy. Now this purple that I used is way too dark. I think this is Magos purple. And I was not a fan of that. But I ended up going and picking up, because I'm a contrast slave, I ended up picking up Luxian purple. And then this is great. Oh, I guess my webcam's inverted. Oh well, so words are going to be backwards. But yeah, they came out amazing. I'm so happy. I'm going to end up with another one of these from a deal, and I might paint that one a little differently. We'll see. We'll go ahead and go to the next caster. So this one was painted fairly recently. Now, their little monster is painted in the new purple. It's still very dark, very rich, but it actually reads as purple where the other one doesn't. And of course, you can see my liberal use slash abuse of Nuln Oil because it hides our shame. And this is the way that I want the bases to go. The street effect, which is Talaxi Factory, World War II. And the reason why I'm going for like a city look and especially the blue base is one, it's going to contrast like the dark red, and two, I guess in my mind, the story is these guys are invading a city in the middle of the night, ready to snatch souls. Or at least that's the way they think about it. I might freehand something on this page. I don't know what yet. It might just be a giant infernal symbol. It might just be me taking a fine tip Sharpie and like literally trying to write as if there's contract details or something like that. And finally, we got the big man, Omo. Now, Omo is amazing. I love this model. They came out so good. There we go. There's the smoke effect. Um, Omo is great. I can't wait to get the claw size so that I can actually play him because Omo I think works better with the Guardian of Souls. I'm not sure. I don't have that yet. So I am missing a couple things. I'm missing the two Colossi. And let me take a quick break while I go and get the next stuff and kind of talk about the goal of the project. So I don't just want to get an infernal list that I can play and be happy, just with that single list. I'm doing a what I call a master collection. So a master collection is full FA, but also full options. That's what I'm doing with Kador too, and like what I did with Orgoth. So what that means is that with horrors, except for the 120s, you can take 4 for field allotment, right? but they can also summon 3. So that means you need a total of 7 um, of all of the horrors. And I'm actually pretty close. When all of my deals are said and done, I'm only going to be missing 1 Soul Stalker, and I'm still looking for that. Hopefully I get it. We'll see. I have 1 deal that is basically done. I just need to pay the man when he gets back from vacation. And then I have another deal that I'm waiting on pictures that I'm going to get tomorrow. And if that goes through, I'll have 2 of each Colossi, which is amazing. And then I'll have my gates. So actually, let's go into that. Here is my gate. Now this is the same process. It's just based in white, Blood Angel red, and then Basilicum gray to do the hard part. And I didn't know if I wanted to do the like internal structures a different color, kind of like what Privateer did on the initial photos. I kind of like the all red, especially because it does contrast the blue base very well. Again, Talaxi Factory scaled up a little bit so that it fit properly, and I think it just looks really good, especially once they all start kind of hanging out together. And then stuff like her and Omo obviously don't have the bases, so with them, what I had to do was texture paint. They use GW's Astrogranite debris, and then these guys use for their paint, for the base paint, Eshin Gray. And then once the base coat's down, I dry brush, especially with these bricks, which you can't really see. Let's see if we can catch some of the dry brushing. Maybe it pops better in person, but you can kind of see the lines and stuff on the brick. With Longbeard, yeah, Longbeard Gray. You can't read it. Never mind. There's no point. It's backwards. And then hit it with Draconoth Nightshade as the wash. And then that's what gives it that blue tone. So it's like very stony blue earth tones. And I absolutely love it. So in the deal that I'm pretty sure I got, I have 1 more gate coming. They are magnetized. Not all of them are. I have more magnets coming tomorrow. But the goal is to get all the bases magnetized. So I'll have my 2 gates. I do have, and it's in the other room in a box. I should have brought it. I do have a hypercast gate. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Part of me wants to take the time to actually look into installing LEDs and stuff and seeing if I can actually get it so that they light up. If you don't know what hypercast is, it's Privateer Press put out a small selection of models that were hypercast. And it's where they took it and they cast them in clear resin. So for the Infernal Gate, it's like a pinkish red. For the Menoth Avatar, or the Menoth Avatar, it's like an orangish. And then I think the other model they did was a Gatorman model, and it's the souls coming out of like the cauldron. That one's also hypercast. And then I think they did some for Monpok, but I don't play Monpok, so I don't care. So there's that. Let's see, what do we have next? I picked up this. This is where the gate was. These are my cultists. We're gonna pull them out. Now, 2 units of cultists are done. I'm only going to show off 1 today. I still have 1 more unit of cultists to paint, and while I'm in this box, we'll go ahead and pull out these. Those are Dark Sentinels. 1 unit of them is done. I have 2 more units ready to go, but I'm also going to be painting up a 3rd unit or 4th unit of Disco Infernals. Actually, let's go ahead and pull out all the specialty stuff. So part of a master collection, another thing I want to do is making sure that I have what I consider personally a good selection of like the alternate sculpts. So let's actually start with that. This is the alternate sculpt mini crate of the Umbral Guardian. Come on, you can do it. There we go. But this is the Maternal Guardian. As you can see, they're holding the little soul like a baby. So same process here, primed white, Blood Angels red, Basilicum gray. Then it's just lead belcher for the metal. And then wash in Nuln oil. That's it. The Nuln oil gets deep into those crevices and kind of makes that shading pop. Not a lot has to be done there. The skin color, which is the same on the casters, is Briar Queen Chill. That's all it is. And then this blue, I believe, is Talisar blue. Yeah, Talisar blue. It's the vivid blue whenever I want to use it. And then I just kind of painted most of it metal to cheat a little bit. The face in any like normal skin tones is going to be Gilliman flesh from contrast as well. And then snakebite leather for leathers. Go figure. The paint with leather in its name is the one that I use for leather. So we're going to do the second Disco Infernal. Ooh, this way. Or the first, I should say. The second one is primed. I just haven't painted her yet. I love how this came out. And I do have a 3rd one on the way. So I'm going to have a single unit of these. I'm torn on whether or not I should go up to a full set of 9 or not. 3 per unit. I kind of like the idea of just having 3 because they can be their own unit, or they can be the captains of the individual units if I decide to go that way. And then here is where I like to do what I call like headcanon painting. So I base everything in Blood Angels Red, right? But whenever I'm doing the Basilicum Gray, I'm only doing it on pieces that would be considered external clothing. Internal clothing, stuff like the insides of here or here, I leave that bright red because I want that to still kind of pop through, and it gives like a detail to it. It gives it color variation. It's still the same color, it just doesn't have its mask. Um, Next is Orin Midwinter Nights. This is technically Midwinter 1, but I mean, you could use him as Midwinter 2 if you want. No one's honestly going to give a shit. But he came out pretty good, I think. I will probably never use him. Let's be real. But I still have him. And then we have Mr. Garrity. This is No Quarter 1. Eilish. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Don't care. So this was the No Quarter version of Eilish 1. And I have 2 of them. I have this one and I have one that's still new on Sprue. And that one will stay because it's also wrapped in plastic. That's that. I'm keeping that as a collector's item. But he came out really good too. I have the other version too. It came in one of the deals. The only promo model I'm missing, because I do have a Hyper Cascade, is Hermit the Frog, which I actually just picked up today for like 20 bucks on eBay. So I'm stoked about that. So here we'll go with Dark Sentinels. Ooh, there we go. Same thing here. With their arms and gloves, I used a black contrast, Black Legion, just because I wanted them to be different. And there's it on the black. The lead belcher is most of the time what you're going to see for metals, and the bronze is, I think, Balthazar Gold is what I'm using for like lining and stuff like that. On the sword here, there's that little shiny red gem. Every now and then you'll see that show up. What that is to make it stand out differently, I use Stormhost Silver just to make it super bright, and then I hit it with a very bright red. So instead of Blood Angels red, that's ball red there. So same concept there, and then here, of course, the other 2. Ooh. Man, juggling these things on camera and then also like trying to talk and like watch the video feed is so goddamn hard sometimes. The complaints of somebody who's trying to do content. So here we're going to start with the cultists. This is the default cultist. You end up with the most of this sculpt. So I'm putting 2 of these per unit. Skeleton Horde for bones. Snakebite Leather for leather. Lead Belcher. Balthazar Gold. We did the gem effect here. Like, they came out good. It's Balthazar Gold for the masks. Gilliman Flesh for the skin tone. The thing about contrast is, like, once you've got your headcanon down, we'll just move both of them because they're the same. They go pretty quick. Now for parchment and stuff, even on the ammo, I will use Skeleton Horde for that. Just because it, to me, feels right. I don't know. I tried it once and really liked the way that it looked, and I just kept going with it. So yeah, I've got 2 units of these done. And yeah, they came out really good. And then of course we have Orin 2. Now he's got a little green vial there. That green vial is Warp Lightning. It's Lead Belcher base with Warp Lightning. Now if I wanted to make it more distinguished, I could have gone over with more Stormhost and then hit it again for like highlights to make it so that it pops a little bit better. Come on, focus on the man. There we go. But yeah, he came out really good. Technically, I guess I could use Midwinter Nights, the mini crate, in place of him, like I said, but I'm not really feeling it. I kind of like the idea. Well, I'm going to have like 2 main feelings when it comes to this, I guess. Option 1 is going to be, hey, I want to play like the OG non-alternate versions and then just play them straight. And then other times I'm like, yo, let's get weird. and then in which case I'll drop all the mini crate stuff and all the alternates. And if I can get the gates to glow and I can get a second pair of hypercast gates, and hey, if you've got one, say something in the comments and I will see what I can do about paying you money to get that from you, because I really would like another hypercast gate. But if I can get them and I can get them set up for LEDs, that would be amazing. Uh, all right, this one's heavy because this has like all the troopers in it. So we're going to first start with, on this box, Howlers. Now this is the first time I tried to paint the monsters, and my headcanon here was Blood Angel Red for any of the air quotes soft tissue, and then the hard tissue is what was going to go over with the Basilicum Gray. He needs a little bit of cleanup. He's chipping. He's already been sealed. That's the thing I don't like about these guys, is they've been sealed with Munitorium varnish, and they just chip like sons of bitches. No matter what I do, like if I accidentally drop one or handle one too rough, these tips, they chip. That wasn't there when he was or sealed, but he don't care. He's doing the thing. And these were kind of stretched weird when I got them. So right now I had to make green stuff rocks and then get them into that. And then I'm using my big magnets for these just to make sure that these guys don't topple over. So there's that. And I have 2 units. And right now what I did is on the back of them, I've put hash marks with a very fine tip Sharpie, Unit 1, Unit 2. I don't know if I'm going to keep that going or not. I might just paint over that section with like a little square and then pick a color, or like paint the infernal symbol different colors. We'll see. I'm still kind of on the fence. Now, this is actually really interesting because I didn't even know this was a thing. The first eBay lot I got, which was huge, and it was like $450 for such a good starting position, came with these guys when it comes to grievers. And I love them. I've done all 4 units. They're very simple because my paint scheme up until now has been very simple. You can see the white primer all the way in the back because getting back there was a pain. This is the OG flight stand that Privateer Press used to do. And this guy's was already painted, so I primed it and then I did it black. And I didn't want to break the paint stand off of the base without actually harming the base. So this is the texture paint for these. And we did all 5 this way. Or I say we, it's literally just me. There is no we. But I'm used to talking in the third person when it comes to YouTube. Huzzah. So they came out okay. But when I got a brand new in box kit, because I only got 10 in that, their flight stands were a little different. And I'm like, where can I just buy these? Because I love these. These look so cool. They're the same flight stand from the top up, but from the bottom down, they have like this little cloud effect. And to me, that is just amazing. Like, I want that so much. I would have all of them on that. So who knows? I might end up painting another 10 Grievers in the future just so that I can have all of them on the Cloudy Poof Poof flight stands. Our last unit is Crow's Cutthroats. Now, I had these guys before I bought him, and before I bought that lot, and I was like, oh, okay, let me just paint these guys up. While the big lot's on its way. And I ended up doing that. And then when the lot came in, their version of this was beat to hell. So I was like, oh, all right, well, I'm super happy that I did my own. I forget which green this is. Militarum green, something like that. It's supposed to be for the Imperial Guard from 40K. And then a little thief stabby dude. There we go. You got a little crossbow on the back. And then these 2, well, this one's actually different. There we go. I love contrast. If used right, it really does a good job of getting in there and making shadows and everything. Okay, on to the normal solos. So we're gonna go with the staple of the man, Valen. I love how Valen and his little pony came out. Again, we're doing the Storm Host ball red thing for the gyms. I could have gymmed up the butt, but I didn't care enough. We're still doing the red and gray for the cloak. He came out really good. That's just Warp Lightning and Stormhost Silver when it comes to the sword. Come on. All right, there you can see the sword. Now I need you to focus, please. Man, I want an AI camera so bad so I can just like give it fucking finger motions and it can track and do stuff. It's Lead Belcher, and then you hit it with the Warp Lightning, and then you go over it with Stormhouse Silver, and then ta-da! There you get that nice highlight. Here are normal Guardians, and technically I'm gonna have 3 Maternal Guardians. Brian from Warjax is hooking me up with 2 more that he apparently had at like 3, and I'm like, well, I already have 1, and you can only run 3 anyways. So he's gonna hook me up with 2 more, and technically I can paint these. But I like the normal OG version better than the mini crate version personally. That's just me. I just like the pose and everything. And then we have our wretches. I always call them racks for some reason. These came out really good. We have the green Necro effect. It's painted Lead Belcher, then hit with green, and then highlighted on the highlight was Stormhost, and then green again. And then the feet action is the same Briarwing Chill, because I guess that's my undead slash necrotic effect or demonic effect, whatever you want to call it. Then we have the princess. Come on. There we go. She came out really good. I love the way that she ended up. She's got a actual base, but 90% of her model covers it, so you can't even tell. Mr. Rogert. He's another staple. Love this man. He came out really good. The book's really good. Everything about him came out amazing, I think. I can't wait to play this army. It's going to take a while, but I really can't. And then we have Alan. Alan. He's got some red in the sword there. And his cloak in his back. He's such a good model. I don't know how much I'm going to use him, though. Like, I might, but he's 4 points, and solo space to me seems really tight. Here's normal Orin 1. He came out really good. I tried experimenting with his eyes, and they're way too black in this case. So that I wasn't happy about. But, I mean, I'm never really going to use him, I don't think. And if I do, I'll probably use Midwinter Nights, the mini crate one. Because it's like, he's okay, but I'd probably rather use the other one. Here is Normal Hermit. Ooh. Yeah. Cool. And then here is Eilish 1, normal pose. I wasn't going to paint him at first. Like, he's actually the model that made me set the precedent that if I have a mini crate version, I'm going to paint the original too. Because if you look at the no quarter version and Eilish 2, their pose is so similar that you could be confused with mixing up the models. So I was like, okay, in this case, I will probably use, if I'm going to, well, I mean, obviously can't use both at the same time, but like, it's just an easier way for me to keep track of stuff when it comes to stuff like that. So the last 3 solos that I have, the last things to show, because I actually haven't done any horrors, I set the restriction for myself that I wanted to paint all of the troopers and the casters and the structures before I started on the horrors. And the main reason for that is that painting the horrors is probably the most fun part for me. So I wanted to get through all of this first so that I didn't end up painting the horrors, getting bored with the project, and then just never painting these, and then having a messed up army. I was like, no, we're not doing that. So I actually love this model. This is Nika the Hound. I kind of want to paint another one in the future. Her the blonde bled onto her face a bit, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like that. I like the blue in the gun. It's in the scope. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, it's on the side coils. It's not a color that shows up. Most of the time, you'll see it in goggles. Um, this is Linda, the Riot Quest model. This is where I first got that new purple and wanted to experiment with it, so I went a little heavy on her and kind of regret it, but it is what it is. She was a ton of fun to paint. She's got, when I was painting her, actually, I was cursing left and right because she has so much crap on her. Like, I know she's supposed to be an artifact slash relic hunter, but when you're painting that, it is the worst. It sucks, especially when you're like, I don't want to paint this. And then we have the final man, the man who most of the time is who you're going to be turning into horrors anyways, Saxon Oric. There we go. This was sent by a friend from Discord, Mox. I did a deal with Mox where I bought some models, and Mox was my Saxon. And also one of the Guardians and a couple horrors, which I haven't painted. Mox is amazing. Mox has saved my butt twice when it comes to different orders and random stuff. So Mox, if you're watching, thank you very much. But yeah, that is what we have painted right now. Before we get into the horrors, we have Hermit the Frog that we need to paint. I need to paint. Then I need to paint 2 Disco Infernals, so that's 3. And then I need to paint 2 more Maternal Guardians, so that's 5. And then from there, I need to paint 1 more unit of Cultists, which is another 4 models, so 9. And then I need to paint 2 units of Dark Sentinels, which is 3 each, so that's another 6, so 15. So I've got 15 of these to paint before I can start working on horrors. And the horror color scheme is going to be very close to these guys, the Howlers. It's going to be red undercoat, uh, gray hard coat for anything that's rough, anything that's hard in terms of like carapace or whatever. And then any of the claws and teeth and everything, I think I'm going to actually paint them as normal claws. Like these guys, I didn't do it. I just left them red. But I think for the horrors, I'm going to do that where I'm going to recoat them white and then probably go with Skeleton Horde over all of the bone bits. But yeah, we've been going for almost half an hour for the showcase, and we're not even fully done. When I do finish everything with the Colossals, because if both of those deals go through, I'll have 2 of each of the 120 millimeter Colossals. I'll have 2 gates. I'll have the 1 Hypercast, which I don't know what I want to do about that, but we'll see. But yeah, if those 2 deals go through, everything will be said and done. And I think total, I probably spent for this crazy lineup of absolutely everything to the extreme, probably about like 1.6, 1.7 grand, which sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to like 100%ing a Mark IV army, it's actually pretty close to the same. Now, Infernals is going to be an exception to the rule because of the fact that they don't have a lot of models. Like they have cutthroats. Um, they have, when it comes to units, Grievers, 4 of. They have Cultists. They have Dark Sentinels. And then they have the Howlers. So they only have 5 units. And then these are all the solos they have, minus a couple units that are out there. And 3 casters and not that many horrors. So it's one of those things. As of right now, since none of my deals have gone through, if you're watching this and you want to help, I need 1 Hypercast Gate, I need 1 Soul Stalker, I need 2 of each of the Colossi, but if the deals go through, I'm hoping the Soul Stalker and the Colossi issue will be fixed. But yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys in contact. I'm also debating, and this is a huge debating here. I have an extra Magnus the Trader new in box. Debating on picking up another Carver and painting them up also in this color scheme. Because if I do that, then literally every option will be in this color scheme. And I'll be able to put them in a box and take them with me because they might become my new main. I really do love this army. All right, I'm at that point where I'm rambling. Pray for my soul, which is funny considering this army, because I've got so much going on with like Quest and Dragon Con and work and everything. But yeah, just keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and I'll do the same for you guys. It was fantastic talking to you. Hopefully you liked the video. If you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Battle reports are on the way soon. We were waiting on this thing. Is Stream Deck, and yeah, I have the logo on there. Actually, while I'm here, let me set that up real fast. So I have a thing called Telescore, which is how I'm going to do stuff, and then I'm going to switch this over. Let's see if this shows up on camera. It probably won't due to the light, but Telescore will interact with this thing to be able to do stuff. So like if you push player 2 clock, it will stop player 2 clock and start player 1 clock, because that's how chess clocks work. When you push your side of the button, it stops your clock and starts the opponent's clock. And same thing with this, and the middle button will pause it. And if you need to restart it, I've got it set up so that you would of course have to hit the thing again. And then these are for scoring options. So this one is round. If we hit that, it goes to a round counter where you can increase or decrease the round. This one's for feet, if they want to display feats or not. Right now, it doesn't do a damn thing because telescore is not up. And then this one is for score. So player 1 can manipulate their score, player 2 can manipulate their score. So all the game controls for scoring and clocking and everything with telescore is going to be trackable through this, which is going to be great whenever we're doing paddle reports, because clock will be on camera, score will be on camera, round will be on camera, feet will be on camera, everything there, and it's all controlled by the Stream Deck, which I cannot wait to use. So yeah, when stuff calms down, I'm obviously going to try to push one out a week, maybe one every 2 weeks, depending on life. Like after QuestCon, I'm hoping to be able to do stuff for me instead of doing stuff for the con. Like I've got so much. I printed all these guys really quick because there's so many models, so little models. The base inserts didn't take that long to print, but I do need to print quite more of the 120 mils, and that's going to take some time because I need 2 for each colossi, 1 for my second gate, and then 2 for the other gates, the hypercasts if I get them. So I need to print 7 120s, and that's going to be crazy. All right, I will not stop rambling if I don't force myself to. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully you liked what you like. Like I said, like the video if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.